Ladies and gentlemen, good evening everybody. And welcome at the 32nd edition of the Christian Artist Seminar. This is actually the second time that we are a guest here in the Catholic Social Institute here in Badhoven. And we already feel absolutely welcome. And one of the reasons why we feel so welcome is because we have a great cooperation together with the cultural coordinator of the Catholic Social Institute, Renate Goretsky. Yes. So I want to ask a big hand for Renate. Because the coordination and the support is so incredibly important for all of us. And I'm really convinced that we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful week here. Before we're going to start with the program, I have some little announcements. The first one is actually about the translation. If you don't understand what I'm saying, you have a problem now. Wenn Sie Übersetzung braucht, konnten Sie das hier abholen? Ja? Es ist okay? Ja? Ja, I hate to change languages. Als je niet verstaat wat ik daarvoor heb gezegd, dan versta je het waarschijnlijk helemaal niet, want iedereen in Nederland spreekt Engels. Pour le traduction, c'est là? Ah oui? Phew. Okay. Now we covered that part. We have some changes in the program. Only 3. So please pay attention. And that's for the workshop for tomorrow. The first one, electric guitar by Frieder Jost, shift 3. At 2:30, but it will not take place on Monday. He will start on Tuesday. So everybody who signed up for the class for electric guitar from Frieder Jost has a little break tomorrow. They have a gathering at the bar. The dance technique class by Christian Dance Company, shift 2, in the fitness room, will actually take place in the seminar room number 5. Seminarraum 5. Yeah? Okay, so that's also in shift 2. Actually, if you pay attention now, you will see something interesting, because the hip-hop and street dance by Segun Adekite, shift 2, in seminar room 5, will take place in the fitness room. Yes, 3 points. So they shifted around. So at one point, if you are standing like this and you're more of the this, you know that you have to move, okay? Okay, let's quickly start. Because we are not running late, only one saxophonist tonight. We're going to start with the first performers of the evening, the first musician. And he graduated in 2006 of the Conservatorium of Utrecht. He plays bass and guitar, likes to compose and arrange material, new material. Has been involved in international collaborations in South Africa, the USA, Middle East, North Korea, throughout Europe, and has an interest for weird instruments. And I'm not sure if we are going to see some of those, but I please ask your warm applause for Ruben Becks.
Thank you very much. The aliens have landed, and I would like to invite another alien in, Jeroen Vrolijk. Thank you very much. Paul, Hannah, Jeroen. And for the people who were wondering about this UFO, it's called a hang. And if you want to know more about the hang, you can come and talk with aliens. The next piece we play is called Plané. Plané, French.
On vit les yeux demi-ouverts teintés de bleu. On sélectionne les images que l'on veut. Et le temps coule. Le temps coule, toujours le même refrain, toujours le même entrain. Prenant le temps de parler de tout et de rien. Et le temps coule. Le temps coule. Se détourner de la réalité sans jamais creuser, sans dépouiller le vrai, ne sait-on jamais. Des mots pour brouiller les raisonnements, pour étouffer les doutes de nos fondements. Et le temps coule, la vie se fane lentement mais sûrement. La mort avance, le sourire à pleines dents. Et le temps coule, planer, se détourner de la réalité sans jamais creuser, sans dépouiller le vrai, ne sait-on jamais. Que nous fuyons nous font faux bond au bout du compte. Planer, se détourner de la réalité sans jamais creuser, sans dépouiller le vrai, ne sait-on jamais.
Thank you very much. For this last song, I would like to invite Werner and Juriaan. And This song is called Above the Clouds. The sun is shining, especially after a summer like this. That's a good idea to have in mind. But the place I wrote the song actually was in the Himalaya. And the funny thing by climbing up was indeed that you would come above the clouds where the sun was shining. In case you're wandering around at the music shop or bookshop, there are no CDs available of me. So don't look around. Just come to me if you want to know a little bit more or want to hear a bit more.
Was an amazing performance. Thank you very much. One more big hand of applause for Ruben Becks. And we saw, of course, also Paul van Veen, Hannah Claire earlier, vocals, Jeroen Vrolijk, Berner and Jurian. Incredible. Every time I'm sitting on a chair like this, I realize what a privilege it is to be here. Isn't it right? But we're also privileged tonight because we have a very special guest. It's a great honor to introduce the first speaker. And we are extremely proud to have her in our midst. I'm going to go to German for a moment. Wir sind wirklich sehr geehrt, dass es möglich ist für Sie, hier zu sein heute Abend. Vielen Dank. It's really great. She especially came back from her holidays. She made a little break during her break just to be here tonight and to welcome us here and to emphasize the cultural contribution for mutual understanding. I want to ask your attention for nobody less than the mayor of Bad Honnef, die Bürgermeisterin von Bad Honnef, Wally Fieden.
Very much. You are the translator? No? Sie sind die Übersetzerin. Ach, da brauche ich auch das nicht, oder doch? Doch? Okay. Was brauchen Sie dann? Okay. So, die ganze Technik. Danke, danke. Ja, einen schönen guten Abend.
Good evening,
Alle zusammen.
everybody.
Ich hätte es auch auf Englisch versucht,
I would've-
aber manchmal mache ich mir es dann auch, gerade weil ich noch Urlaub habe, etwas leichter.
I would have tried to speak in English, but because I'm on holiday, I thought I don't have to work that hard.
Ich begrüße Sie alle ganz herzlich und sage Ihnen, dass ich mich als Bürgermeisterin riesig freue, hier so viele junge, künstlerisch begabte Menschen zu sehen.
I welcome you all here, and I have to tell you that as a mayor, I'm very happy to see so many young artists here who are very talented.
Ich freue mich also, Sie hier in unserer Stadt begrüßen zu können.
I'm very happy to be able to welcome you here in our town, in our city.
Für unser KSI ist diese Veranstaltung eine wertvolle Perle in der Kette der hochrangigen Tagungen und Veranstaltungen.
For our KSI, you are a wonderful pearl, a precious pearl in this string of pearls of wonderful events that we're having here.
Sie sehen, ich versuche auch, mich ein bisschen künstlerisch Ihnen zu nähern.
You see, I'm trying to be artistic in my own way.
Ich heiße Sie aber alle wirklich herzlich willkommen in Bad Honnef. Und wenn ein Workshop verschoben wird oder ausfällt und Ihnen eine Pause gönnt, besuchen Sie unsere kleine, feine City.
But I really want to welcome you in our city of Bad Honnef. And if your workshop is cancelled or moved and you do have some time to spare, then please take a look around our beautiful city.
Ich bin erstaunt, dass Künstler, die ja gemeinhin eher als Individualisten gelten, hier die Gemeinsamkeit suchen.
I'm surprised that artists who tend to be very individualistic seek the community here.
Dass sie in dieser Gemeinschaft in den 5 Tagen über alle Ländergrenzen Europas hinweg in Workshops und in Plenumsveranstaltungen den unterschiedlichen Aspekten des kreativen Lebens widmen wollen.
And that you are seeking to find out about creative lifestyle from all countries of Europe within the workshops and the discussion groups.
Ich freue mich außerdem, dass so viel begabte junge Menschen bewusst den Elfenbeinturm des Künstlers verlassen und sich für die existenziellen Seiten und Probleme in Kultur, Politik und Gesellschaft öffnen. Einfach zusammenfassen.
I'm also happy that so many talented young artists are leaving the, do you say ivory tower of artists, and that you come into the real world and that you're interested in politics and real life.
Sie fördern damit das so dringend notwendige Miteinander in Europa.
And you support, by doing that, the community and the being together within Europe.
Sie leben Verständigung und Zusammenarbeit. Sie streben nach gemeinsamem Handeln, wenn Künstler von Intoleranz oder Arbeitslosigkeit in ihren Heimatländern bedroht werden.
And you seek to work together and to communicate with each other, even if artists are often face unemployment and intolerance in their own countries.
Seit 1981 finden diese europäischen Seminare statt.
These European seminars have been taking place since 1981.
Wer damals etwa als 20-Jährige teilnahm,
if you took part in it back then as a 20-year-old,
ist heute über 50 Jahre alt.
Would be more than 50 today.
Hey. Und konnte dann hoffentlich die Idee des Zusammenschlusses des Netzwerks Christian Artists im jeweiligen Land mit dem Ziel, Bedingungen für die Entwicklung und Förderung junger Künstler in den Alltag tragen.
And I hope that those people were able to help young artists to develop in their countries and to bring the idea of working together and networking into their own countries.
1981, das ist nun also über 30 Jahre her.
1981, that's more than 30 years ago.
Und das damals beginnende Netzwerk hat sich prächtig bewährt und entwickelt.
And the network that was started back then has grown and developed beautifully.
Seit 1991 gehört die Seminarwoche.
Since 1991, this seminar week belongs to.
Die nun zum zweiten Mal hier im KSI in Bad Honnef stattfindet.
That's taking place for the second time here in Bad Honnef in the KSI.
Zum jährlichen Arbeitsprogramm der Association of Christian Artists.
It's part of the life of the Association of Christian Artists.
Ich wünsche allen Teilnehmenden in diesen 5 Tagen des Lernens und der Inspiration,
I wish all participants during this week of inspiration and learning,
in der Auseinandersetzung mit den gesellschaftlichen Bedingungen der Kultur
in talking about cultural topics,
und natürlich der Kulturschaffenden,
and in creating culture,
viele gute und neue Erkenntnisse.
a lot of new insights.
Ich wünsche allen, dass die Gemeinsamkeitserfahrung ihnen neue Impulse für ihre persönliche Kreativität
And I hope that experiencing the community here will give you new inspiration,
sei es im Bereich der Musik, wie wir es eben erlebten,
whether it be in the music
oder in den darstellenden Künsten auf der Bühne
or in performing arts, thank you,
oder in der bildenden Kunst.
or in fine arts.
Ich wünsche Ihnen und mir,
I wish you and myself
dass Ihnen der Aufenthalt in Bad Honnef noch lange Kraft in Ihren künstlerischen Alltag gibt.
that this day in Bad Honnef will give you strength in your artistic life for a long time.
Und dass Sie sich gerne an diese 5 kreativen Tage in der europäischen Familie erinnern werden.
And that you will fondly remember the 5 days here in this European community.
Alles Gute für Sie
All the best for you.
Alles Gute für Kunst und Kultur in Europa.
All the best for arts and culture in Europe.
Dann bin ich sicher, wird Europa eine friedliche Zukunft haben. Dankeschön.
Then I'm sure Europe will have a peaceful future. Thank you.
Ganz herzlichen Dank.
Die Bürgermeisterin von Bad Honnef, the mayor of Bad Honnef. While they are redecorating the place, it's my honor to introduce the next artist. She's from France. She practices classical dance, jazz dance, clowning, music, drawing. Graduated at the prestigious Marceau International Mime School. Writes drama, directs, leads her own business company, does voices for French television, and performed all over the world. Is there anything she cannot do? Tonight she performs a new creation. And she said it's an experiment. So this is the laboratory. And of course, the whole Christian Artist Seminar is a laboratory. So I'm very curious as a chemist what she will do tonight. I want to ask your applause for somebody who makes a piece about women in the rough areas of Paris. Please welcome Anne-Lo Piquet.
t'ai fait un gros bisou. Oui, je sais pas. Chérie, je t'ai fait un gros bisou. Je t'embrasse fort. Je t'ai fait un gros bisou. Je t'embrasse fort. Chérie, je t'ai fait un gros bisou. Oui, je sais pas. Chérie, je t'ai fait un gros bisou. Je t'embrasse fort. Je t'ai fait un gros bisou. Je t'embrasse fort. Chérie, je m'adresse à toi. Avec toi, chérie, la vie est belle.
Let There Be Light. Wonderful. By Anglo Piquet. The next artist didn't travel that far. Actually, although it's a big country, he is from Germany. He studied in Berlin at the Hans Eisler School. He teaches a variety of instruments at the music school in Neustrelitz, where he also worked at the Mecklenburg-Neustrelitz Theater as a theatrical composer. He played cello as a soloist and orchestral player in numerous settings and concerts throughout Europe. I think if you've been at Christian Artist Seminar before, you must know him. And I think when you ever see him play, you will love the cello afterwards forever. Because he's a dear, dear friend of us all and a great musician. And I'm checking if he's already ready. No, he's not. That's great because that gives me a little bit of time to stretch my hands. And maybe you can join me for a moment. Okay. Just a little exercise because I know we started off a little bit rough. Can you all do it like this? There's only a little warming up for the fingers because sometimes, especially musicians, they get like stram fingers. So, hop, like this. Hop. Yeah. So with me, hop, 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 hop. Yeah, too fast? Okay, this one, hop. Hey, hop. Yeah? Hup. Okay. Now, let's see if he is ready, because I think we cannot wait, and at least I cannot wait to hear him again, because it's always a big pleasure. Thorsten, are you ready? Bist du fertig? 5 Minuten? 10? 2? 2 Stunden? Okay. Okay. Now, a big hand of applause for nobody less than Thorsten Heiden. Torsten Harder. You see here the castle is being rebuilt next to me. That means we get a second speaker. And we're very proud to have the next speaker in our midst. The great importance of this international cultural gathering has been guarded for many years by the ESA, the European Center of Worker Questions. It's because of their involvement and their understanding of the importance of the Christian Artist Seminar that we are here today. Especially one person in particular we owe a lot to, because she has been our guardian and fought for our cause all this time. The General Secretary of the ESA, Roswitha Godbehut.
Yeah, thank you for the wonderful evening. It's a really very huge surprise for me that I can participate tonight here with you together, and that I can see and listen to these splendid performances tonight. Yeah, as the moderator has just said, we are a couple together for many, many years. And when the mayor from Bad Honnef said that Continental Art Center is existing for nearly 30 years, we are a younger organization. And that means that we, Lynn and Ria, that we can work together now, I think, for more than 20 years. I'm working in ETSA for 22 years, and I think it was just the beginning that I could learn that you have been introduced to ETSA at that time. And as ETSA has many, many seminars a year, when you have the time to have a special look at our website, you can learn much more about our organization. But this seminar is very unique, as that is what I could learn tonight as well. Thank you very much, Lynn and Ria, for the invitation tonight. What is very, very important, and that is what I could learn also, is that you are going to bring together two different parts during the next week. You can bring in your artistic skills, you can learn more, but you can also discuss more about permanent difficulties which arise in your daily life, that what has been performed tonight as well. We could see that there is fun, but we could see that there is also a huge portion of seriousness. And I think it is a special value. It is a special value that you as an artist can do the work which comes from your heart. This is a warm part in our daily life. Comparing this with so many other jobs where people have to hurry from the very early morning to the late night with a job only for profit making, bringing burnouts, as we could see from the lady before. I think that was going into that direction. We can see that warm times and cold times are belonging together. Most of us feel that there are so-called warm sides and more or less cold sides in your daily life to be realized in your life as well as in my life also. And one element influences the other, and we have seen it, we have to combine both. And that remembers me for the composer Bedřich Smetana, who has composed the very nice melody of the Moldau, the Vulda called. And this melody is something like a mirror in our life. And did you know that it emerged from the so-called warm Wulda and from the so-called cold Wulda at the very beginning, and they came together in one river at the stream course. Wulda means wild and torrential river with dangerous current and with quick water, with pitfalls, but also paths where you can feel fishes playing and jumping out of the water, dancing to the melody. Other parts of the melody where you can see that we feel becoming older, profiting from life experiences, or where we can take advantage of the fruit of the work already done. The river grows wider. This event here, we will have a special look also in the workshops where you are speaking about the social dialogue, more to the dangerous current, to the pitfalls of our working life. And it is sincere that it has these two parts in the seminar. And where you are going to discuss problems and where you are trying to solve the problems, to bring in your ideas so that we, ETSA, my organization, can profit from your ideas. You will speak about how to handle the outcomes of the crisis. Lynn has sent us a project description for this week, where he is going to offer these together with Joachim Herudek and Susanne. You will speak about how to avoid poverty, or how the poverty can be solved in a better way. We have a huge debt crisis at the moment in Europe, and many employers which are belonging to you from the public authorities, they don't have any money for that. That could also be a subject which you can discuss. You have to suffer with many flexibility without security. And what about the family life with regard to this case? What about the pension system? And what about being competitive enough in the future? And what about finding an appropriate job? The question finally at the end is, of course, that how can workers' organizations contribute to the problems which artists, which cultural working people have? What can be brought in from your side within the next days to ETSA? And ETSA, our organization, is asked to give the results to the European Commission, and they would like to tell the other European organizations what has been done in the cultural sector in Europe and what are outcomes. And I would like to have you heartily invited now to bring in your ideas. I think it is very important for all of us, as our life is composing of that. And of course, you are also heartily invited to participate also in other seminars which ETSA has. And I have learned at the very beginning tonight that it has been said that above the clouds, the sun is shining. And that should be the motto for at least for the next few days. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for these wonderful words, Rosita Gotthard from the ETSA. I hope we can work together at least for another 22 years. The next performing artist is from Scotland. And he asked me not to introduce himself too greatly, but it's difficult to talk about a dear friend not greatly, because he's not only a wonderful artist, the founder of the British Origami Society, the International String Figure Society, International Knot Tires Guild, the writer of several books on play-related subjects. He does not only haiku, clowning, soap bubbles, but also storytelling. But he's most of all a wonderful, wonderful man and a great friend of us all who's been at the Christian Artist Seminar for many, many years. And he's a big source of inspiration. Please, a big hand of applause for Philip Noble.
Thank you, Guido, for the low-key introduction. That was great. Well, I wonder how many of you have ever wondered where that little I in front of the iPod and the iPad and the iMac and the iBook and the iCloud comes from. Because I did some research and actually nobody knows what it's supposed to mean. But there is agreement on several things. One, if it's got an I in front of it, it's usually quite expensive. It's also very, very useful, but it needs to hold this a bit. But it also needs to be recharged. It needs to have maybe a third-party operator to connect you to other people. And so I want to show you, a bit like Steve Jobs tonight, introducing the new I concept. I have it in my pocket. And this I concept, it is cheap. It comes in any color you like, any size you like. It doesn't have any batteries. It can be replaced for almost no cost, and you can give it away. And I also know what the I stands for. Would you like to see it? Yes. Okay, here we go. I just brought a small one tonight. I want to introduce you to my I string. Isn't it amazing? I just brought a white one tonight. And the I stands for imagination. Because with a piece of string and a lot of imagination, you can see all sorts of things very easily. For instance, suppose you would like a cup of coffee. Well, you don't have to go to Starbucks and pay a lot of money. You can actually, with your I string, you can imagine one. If that's not big enough for you, it's okay. You just double the size or more. And there you have a really big cup of coffee. And suppose you want to travel. Lots of people love to travel to see different sites. Well, with the I string, no need. Suppose you have that great desire to see the Eiffel Tower. Well, it's at your fingertips and with a little bit of help from the teeth. And suppose you were in Paris, you decided to take up a new hobby like skiing. There are your skis, and take a train to the south and go through a couple of tunnels. And then come out into the valleys, and before long, there you would be on the slopes of the Alps, skiing up and down. But the I string isn't only useful for making things, it's also useful for teaching, because Nietzsche once said, true freedom is being able to dance in your chains. Well, that's true for someone with an I string, but with imagination, there's usually a way out of your chains as well. Even if they're quite difficult and quite complex, with imagination, it's possible to come free, as long as you're not wearing a mic around your neck. My son, my youngest son, has just moved into a new house, and he loves animals. But the owner has said, no pets. The good news is he has an I string. And so he can have a virtual pet. So he can make one of these. They're actually quite useful to have because they don't make much mess. And this is his little I puppy. I hope. In a minute. Yeah, there we go. And finally, when you play with your I string, it's always important to have some rest. So we can have, this is just a small one for maybe for a baby, this special version, but we need to have a hammock of some sort. So let's see if we can make one. we can. Okay, there's a nice little hammock for you to lie on. And when you're finished, all you do is pack it away, roll it into the corner, and you have nothing but your imagination string back again. Thank you. Now, over the past year, I've been working with a group of dancers in Brussels. I spent 9 days teaching them some workshops. You'll recognize some of the shapes and the stills and the little clips I've done in the workshops. And in May, they presented a piece for 4 days in Brussels and then went to Stockholm with a piece called the tent piece and used quite a lot of string movements. I would have done it differently, but I'm not a dancer. I'm a string player. So this is the version of the rehearsals and then about 4 minutes of video altogether. Thank you. Oh, sorry, I should say the music. Andy Lang was in Scotland earlier in the summer. He gave me his new tape, and I asked for some of the music for this. So the first half is Andy, and I think Thorsten's on as well, playing some music. I really like the harp music, so here we go. Thank you.
Out, center down, down and up, that's it. Yeah. I think you could do it. Holding on to that. Coming forward.
Twist back into the...
Again? Yeah. Maybe a different angle?
Traveling all the way to France and global tourism is already at your fingertips.
Everyone's equal. Someone your future. Insurrection. Insurrection. Insoumission. Insurrection. Revendication. Reconfusion.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Philip Noble. If you ever have the chance to have a conversation with him, or in the next couple of days, always inspiring. I love it. The next performer. She's a British singer and songwriter, but actually lives in France. She studied classical piano, music theory, and cello. Last few years, she started experimenting with her vocal range and effects. And recently, she released her first solo album, Comfort Zone. Now, I want to know if it's available here in the store. Is it available in the store, Comfort Zone? Yes, you can find it in the bookstore, in the bookshop downstairs. Not yet, but it will be after tonight. I just heard. That also reminds me that every artist who has something to sell, your mother-in-law, anything, you can bring it to the bookstore and they will be happy to help you. Tonight, she will perform with her loop station. And if you don't know what a loop station is, you can also go to a workshop because she will do a workshop working with the loop station. I ask a round of applause for nobody less than Hannah Claire.
Birds in the sky, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom in the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. Oh, freedom is mine. Oh, freedom is mine. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Thank you. And hello to everybody. I haven't seen you for a long time. It's cool to see you. And I was going to introduce Ruben on stage, but he decided to come by himself, which is great also. So here's Ruben Bex on the bass. Over the last year, we've done a few series of living room concerts that Ruben has kindly organised, just him and myself, and also with Paul van der Veen and my brother, Matthew Featherstone. And this is one of the songs that we performed. It's called That Kind of Love, and it's about cheesy couples, cheesy love. If you understand what cheesy means, it's soppy clef in Dutch. Right. So, I don't need that kind of love. Love is all around, or so it is perceived by those couples who are securely bound. Someday I'll understand, and my skeptical mind will dissolve just as cringiness takes my life into its hands. I'm sick of stumpy declarations. I love you, baby boo. I can't stand those public demonstrations. I'm touched by mutual admiration, but please appreciate my reservation. I don't need that kind of love. No, 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 no. Love can change a man in mysterious ways, not forgetting the role the woman plays. There'll be some change of plan when concessions become so ingrained that they have no idea where they'll finally stand. I'm sick of stumpy declarations. I love you, baby boo. Yeah. I can't stand these public demonstrations. I'm touched by mutual admiration, but please appreciate my reservation. I will repeat again and again and again if I have to. I find absolutely fine. You're my honey, you're my sweetie, you're my share of everything. You're my munchkin, you're my pumpkin, you're my duckling, baby Bill. You're my lover, ain't no other, come on over, I love you. My baby, my baby, my baby, my baby. Oh. I'm sick of some big declaration. I love you, baby boo. Oh, bye 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 bye. I love you, my baby boo. I don't need that kind of love. No, no, no. Not that kind of love. Jeroen Vrolijk. Something like that. Sorry if I butchered your name.
So let's check it first.
Yes, let's check it. Excuse us. I can hear it, so it must be working. Okay. Click. So we're going to be playing with the loop and these three musicians on a song called La La La, which is very inspirational title, but the point of it is the easiness of a chorus that goes la 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 and how much people enjoy singing on the la la las and don't care about the rest of the lyrics. And the lyrics are in French, so you probably won't care about the rest of them, so this is perfect. And if you want to sing along, it's your time to shine. C'est des dissonances qui encombrent le silence. C'est les résonances de ces lugubres cadences. Préserver l'insouciance sur des rythmes qui balancent. Chanter de l'espérance, sautiller et faites place au vin. la joie que nous procure la candeur de ses mesures, mais qu'une frêle armure face aux griffes des blessures. Si la vie est dure, faisons motion de censure. Masquer les fêlures, allons taper dans nos mains aussi.
Thank you. Thank you. It should work. It does work. I'm going to finish with this following song. That is a very fresh and new one that I have never tried out, so maybe the place to do so. You can probably hear from quite a few of my songs that there is some kind of sarcasm and a lot of, sarcasm, and especially about the church. And I had an experience a few months ago that I decided to put in a song, which was during my holidays. I decided to go to this new church that I'd never been to before. I didn't know. For my holidays, fun time. And when I got there, they told me that I would not be able to participate in the communion because they didn't know me and they didn't know if I was worthy of sharing it with them. And it made me think of the original point of communion and the fact that it's there to express grace and opening up to the people, to the nations, as opposed to closing it down as some churches choose to do and condemn other people. So during this song, you've got two scenes that overlap: the communion that I had to look at without participating, and the cross. It's called Once and for All. As we gather around the altar, all my limbs start to shudder.
The flesh that protects me is ripped and shed around me, leaving me stripped to the bone. Take, eat, drink from my hand, which you had nailed. Blood has dripped from my brow and cleared you once and for all. By the wounds that you dig open, through your scorn and rejection, the blood flowing in me pours and stains your body, leaving me humbled and shamed. Take, eat, drink from my hand, which you have nailed. Blood has dripped from my brow and cleared you once and for all. How many times can a man be pinned to a tree? How many times can we pin ourselves to the tree? How many times can we pin our own to the tree once and for all? For all. I've cleared you once and for all. Take, eat, drink from my hand, which you have nailed. I have cleared you once and for all. Once and for all. Once for all.
Hannah Claire. It really sucks to have to say anything after something like this. It's better to stay quiet for a moment. But the show must go on, even here. The next performing artist, or fine artist, comes from Belgium. He works with bronze, creates oil paintings, etchings, jewelry in silver. His work spread out in the last 34 years all over the world and can be found in many prestigious international museums, in art houses, all the way to the Belgian court. He will give a presentation of his recent work, and you will see that his wonderful, gentle personality and his appetite, his joy in life, is reflected in his work. Here is Francis Rian.
Thank you. Thank you. This year I make something very special. It's the first time in my life, it's a grand premiere today. I have realized an installation for a castle in Belgium. Castle is a big castle, enormous. And the question was, if you was asked to do something like that, it's very difficult because it's very large. And it's very large. And I was in the attic, and in the castle, and I saw an old piano. And I think, yes, I want to do something with fragility of human life, fragility of human being. And in fact, I worked about book Ecclesiastic, and in fact, it's an illustration. What you will see, it's an illustration about fragility, vanity of vanities. A friend of mine, Patrick Vauclair, realized a short film very quickly, but I think it's a document. It's the first time that, yes, it was for me a défi. I don't know who you say a défi, but I'm sure that you understand what I mean. So let's see the video. Vanité des vanités.
You spent your life working, laboring, and what do you have to show for it?
Une génération s'en va, une autre vient, et la terre subsiste toujours.
The sun still rises, and it still goes down, going wearily back to where it must start all over again.
Allant vers le sud, tournant vers le nord, tournant, tournant, ainsi va le vent.
Everything leads to weariness, a weariness too great for words. Our eyes can never see enough to be satisfied. Our ears can never hear enough.
Il n'y a rien de nouveau sous le soleil.
Were you there when I made the world? If you know so much, tell me about it. Who decided how large it would be? Who stretched the measuring line over it? Do you know all the answers? Do you know where the light comes from? Or what the source of darkness is?
Nous ne parvenons pas à connaître l'œuvre du Créateur.
However, everything that happens in this world happens at the time God chooses. He sets the time for birth and the time for death, the time for planting and the time for pulling up, the time for killing and the time for healing, the time for tearing down and the time for building.
Un temps pour la guerre et un temps pour la paix.
What do we gain from all our work?
La vie de l'homme est comme la fleur, il s'épanouit et puis se fane. Il est comme l'ombre qui passe.
So I realized that all we can do is be happy and do the best we can while we still are alive.
Vanité des vanités.
It's all useless.
Thank you.
Wonderful, Francis. Thank you very much. Francis Mayan. The castle wall is being pulled up again. That means we get another speaker. Actually, we get two. From the Netherlands, both of them. He is the writer of 26 books. Actually, he's writing his 27th book at the moment. He's a chairman, a director, a founder, an artist, a political consultant, a public speaker, blah, blah, a lot. He is active in the arts for over 50 years. He was on the stage as an actor the first time when he was 16 years old. His wife is even more incredible. She's the force behind him, not only the financial force. She's a fashion designer and a writer of amazing books that are I could say it's worth it to learn Dutch, because in Dutch they're wonderful. You already know who I'm talking about, Leen and Ria Larivière. Leen is a leader, and it's time that somebody should say that Leen is a leader. Leen en Ria.
Can you hear me? Yeah, yes. Yeah, I have something on my ear. You see? Hello, beautiful people. Want that you are. Yes, look around, look to each other, and yes, you really are beautiful. When you are here for the first time, there are a few things that was the same every year. At the first evening, Leen and me speak to you. I think we want to do it till we die. I hope life wasn't too difficult for you the past year. But I know when we are with such a mixed group from different parts of the world, different backgrounds, different ages, that some of you went through sad times in your life. And I wish special for you that this week is a time of new hope and new creativity. We are doing this summer, this seminar, more than 30 years. So when we started, my interest was different. And in my 30s was different than my interest now in my 66. But I still believe very strong in creativity. I always believed in it. And also discovered that we admit to stop creativity very easy in our lives. I found a book, and the title is Advantage Style. It's a book with photos of elder women from the age of 75, still 100 years old. They made an art of their outfits and said in interviews, I am dressing myself just for me, now that I also do. I make my own creativity. And when one of them said, creativity brings you closer to God. Now, that's a great wisdom. So you can imagine that when we still have Christian artists, when I am 100, I want to stand here as an artwork with beautiful clothes and with a creative mind and body. Dear friends, have a great week. Enjoy the workshops, the teaching, the discussions, but please enjoy each other with respect and love.
Yeah. Starting up this seminar brings always back to me some situations from the past. And I guess there's nobody here who was at the first one. Wow. The first one is always the first, and you learn a lot. Especially about art, about yourself, about working with staff in a situation, in a center that was a different center from now. So we're very blessed to be in this center, with all those facilities. I'm very thankful for the cooperation with Kazi and Renate Koreski and the staff from this building. Having said that, the things we do here together in this week is equally impossible without the help of Magiel and his staff. Those are all volunteers who give a full week in preparation, building it up, breaking it down, bring it back, the whole office to Rotterdam and whatever. And this is part of what Christian artist is. It is giving. It is giving. Every teacher who is here and every artist who will share, who will be on stage and in the workshops, in the classes, they give. Nobody is paid. And that's amazing that in the midst of a society totally in crisis, there are still people who hold up ideas. And I stand for that. I still believe in that. After all those years, it's really true. I'm over 50 years in the arts. I was 16 staging my first musical. Can you believe that? Who wants to do that when you're 16? But I did that. You know, there are very gifted people here. And those are so precious for our future of Europe. I was 12 when I wrote my first composition. How many children can do that? And nobody could believe it when I was that young that I had done that. What a bloody shame. And over again, you come to situations where you find out that the gifts of people are ignored. But the gifts we have is a gift from God. So we share it on. And I believe that stands in a full tradition of centuries, what we call the Christian social thinking or Christian social philosophy. On one side, it deals with the question of our society, who are immense. And here we always have gotten great help. And it started to be exactly for Roswitha in 91. We got the first help to include the true question, the true nature of our world to our world of arts. Because we can teach and we can learn whatever we want. But if we have no idea how the real world is, I believe we have a problem. And the problem is arising. So the topic of this week is things are under pressure. If you open up every day, let's say your papers, or you read it on the internet. I am always reading on the internet the news, so you have the latest news immediately. I'm shocked many times. What is happening with our world? Is there any hope? Recently, I read an article that it is not a question if, but only still a question when United States is going to bomb Iran. In what type of world are we living? We see the bloodshed in Syria and on many other places. And I think then, is there any hope? And yes, I believe there is hope. We, as artists, are part of that hope. And people of goodwill are part of the same hope. We stand firm of our eternal foundations. So you find a little quote from the Bible in your program book. It came from Corinthians chapter 16. It is saying, be on your guard, stand firm in the faith, be men of courage, be strong, do everything in love. I think that's a promise. That is us. That is me. Too many people have ever told me in my life to shut up, to shut down, don't do anything. If I would have listened, we would not have been here today. And many other things would have never happened in many sides of Europe. But I believed in this principle. I believe together with Asa in the principle that we stand firm what we are. That there are true social principles in Christianity. That we are standing for that together. And that we can work it out. We as artists are able to build bridges that nobody can. We all have been in situations where words came short. But art could make the difference. And I believe that if we take along in our art forms what we can learn this week about the real situation, it will be a difference. It has to be a difference. This is the Europe I believe in, where art can be meaningful, where faith has a position again in society, that we are not the weird people, but art can be even very prophetic, as a teacher once said. And that is true. So that's the reason I hope and pray that this week you learn a lot. And when you go home, that you will be inspired, holding up the flame for yes, there are chances, there are possibilities, because you are that flame. God bless you during the week.
Thank you very much, Ria and Leen. The last performing artist for tonight is a musician from Holland. And this is a percussionist who studied at the Dutch Conservatory in Rotterdam. He worked with the greatest artists in Holland, Marco Borsato, Truintje Oosterhuis, Frans Bauer, just to mention a few. All very famous in Holland. But also international artists. He worked on the electric drum sessions with Eric E. Vedder-Legrand. If he's not traveling the world performing, he's teaching at the Center of Art Education in Zaandam, or he's working on his second CD, or is writing on his second and third drum book, Hieronymus Drum Method Part 2 and 3. Please, a big hand of applause for Jeroen Vrolijk.
Yes, here we are. I got it written down. I want a round of applause for Guido for his nice presentation tonight. Here you go. Very funny, very funny, very funny. Big thank you to Michiel and Leen for getting us out here on this beautiful place. Leen, thanks. CA for me is a gathering of friends, fellow Christians and incredible talented artists. I'm proud of working with some of them these coming nights, and please don't be afraid, I won't be on stage that much every night as this night, but you'll have plenty of opportunity to hear me play. The first song is from my first album recorded in New York, and I'm very proud of that, and it will be for sale downstairs. It's called Party at Chechter's. Matthew Chechter's is a friend of mine, and he's always so kind to let me stay at his place. So let's play that first, and then I'll get back to you. Party at Chechter's. Just on the head, right from the start. Thank you. Please help me welcome Frida Joost on guitar. Frida. Incredible. On bass, you haven't seen him this night, Ruben Becks. And my dear friend and my brother-in-law, Paul van der Veen. That's for a further discussion, but thinking about the invitation that Magiel sent me to please come and perform on CA, you know, I can play my whole CD and then, you know, but I wanted to keep it fresh and I wanted to keep it in the moment. And in the moment, that's very, you know, I think that's where God is and that's where I like to be. And it's really difficult to translate that to music and what I hear, you know, and what Frida hears or what Paul hears. So we decided to end this night with just a spontaneous jam. So that means that I don't know what I'm going to play and they don't know what they're going to play. So either you you take a run at the door or you like it. But that's a chance we have to take, and I think that's where I like to be this coming week also. So please be welcome at my workshop. Because, you know, no. I don't know what I want to say, but I want to thank my wife for supporting me. She's going to be here also and performing tomorrow, I'm sorry. But, yeah, I'm already thinking what I'm going to play, and that's, you know, I'm not allowed. So, you know, I have to just, you know, let it come. So either you like it, I don't know, we're just going to play, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Once again, Frida Joost. Paul van der Veen. Ruben Becks, Jeroen Vrolijk. Thank you. Have a nice evening. And see you. Thank you.
Jeroen Vrolijk and Facebook friends. We are at the end of the evening, but please stay seated for just a little moment because we have something important yet to come. We have an orientation by Don Grick, and he's coming for the orientation, hopefully now to the front. And if there are any questions, also feel free to ask.
Hello, everyone. What a great evening. What a great start. Fantastic. We're going to do 2 meetings here in record time, okay? The first one is for the participants. Can we see your hands? Participants. Wow, fantastic. Who are here for the first time? Great. Fantastic. We want to welcome you tonight, and we want you to feel right at home. This week is all about you. Okay, so giving you opportunities to grow, to experiment, to try new things, to learn, to share. So don't be shy, okay? We're just one big family. Get to know us, sit down, talk, be brave, and things are going to go really, really well. So you will be amazed at how many people can tell you so many wonderful things. So, but you need to start now because it's a very short conference. So don't wait until Friday thinking, oh no, it's all over. Okay, so 2 things for you. First of all, we just say start and finish. When you begin a workshop, you need to finish it, okay? So don't be running around between workshops because it's important for you for your diplomas at the end, so you must be at all of the workshops, okay? So start and finish. And secondly, when you get to the workshop, you must sign in, okay? And you know what artists and teachers are like. Especially artists, they get a bit lost in their work and they forget about all the technical things. So make sure that if your teacher doesn't ask you to sign, you ask to sign, okay? Somebody has to remember, okay? So we want to wish you to have a really fantastic week. It's going to be fantastic. And now for teachers and artists, let's have your hands. Wow, fantastic. We want to welcome you as well tonight and thank you for all of your presence and all the wisdom that you're going to be giving and passing on and sharing this week. It's been really a great opportunity for all of us. Those of us who are born professors, we have to teach to feel happy. So a lot of people are going to feel happy this week, for sure. Now, we have 3 things, because you should be able to remember 3 things, okay? First thing is that when you start your workshop, you must ask your students to sign in, okay? There's nothing like repeating, because it's important that this enters. Secondly, you have to pick up the keys, right, for the room to get into the room. And when you finish, you must take the key back. The same day would be really nice, okay? Because people are waiting to use the room. And thirdly, do you want to talk about the pink sheet?
About which sheet?
Pink sheet, yes.
The pink sheet. You tell about the pink sheet.
Okay, I will tell about the pink sheet. Teachers and artists, you have received a pink sheet in your envelope. If you've not found it, please look for it because it's really important. There are 2 special sessions every day in shift 1 and shift 3. So if you're not working, i.e. teaching, then we are asking you very strongly to go to these 2 sessions. They're very, very important. It's a very serious matter. Let me just say that it's a question of life and death. If you need more information, you can ask Lane. He will tell you all the ins and outs of what I'm saying. But please, we need you very, very important in these 2 sessions every day in shift 1 or shift 3. If you're not teaching, we will know where to find you, right? Yeah, okay, Lane.
Yeah, no, thank you. Nothing bad. Okay.
Thank you.
Every day in the morning, we have at, let me see the exact time, 10 minutes past 10, here in this hall, the plenary meeting. Now, that is something where Roswitha Godbout from ESA spoke about. We bring here in our midst the very serious stuff about Europe today. Well, this is not a Holy Spirit conference because there are 100,000 of that conferences around Europe. This is not a church conference because there are 1 million church conferences around Europe. You can go there and be blessed. There's only one Christian arts conference in Europe where we want to deal with reality, and that is here. So every morning at that time, we have a very important speaker. It took a year to find such a speaker, so they were well picked. They have prepared a lot to inform us about what is happening. Because finally, when we leave the grounds end of next week, then it's better we all know where we are, what we are going to do about it. Because there is a lot of stuff which is entering the whole artistic world. And don't say it will never touch me as quote-unquote Christian artist being just in my church. Forget it. It is already there. So all those things, unfortunately, have effect. And it's better that we speak about those effects and deal with that. So part is learning, listening. You can ask questions. In the first shift in the morning, that is on the pink sheet. But that is really for the teachers and clinicians. Unless you have not signed up, then you can go there. And you can as well take part in that very serious matter. Because we really want to know and have to know what we are going to do about that. Because the whole world of culture and art is in extreme danger. That's unfortunately the situation. I cannot help the crisis of the euro. I cannot help a lot of other crises, but at least I know what I can do with my life. And that is something what we all can take along. Now, hopefully enjoy the evening. The bar will be open. It's for everybody. You all go downstairs, downstairs, downstairs into the catacombs. That is where the Christians are supposed to be. Right? We started there 2,000 years ago. We end up here this week in the catacombs with the bar, and we will have a great time. God bless you. See you tomorrow morning.